Today I fucked up by having sex toy wipes delivered to my elderly ex-landlady's house. I, 22F, ordered 3 packs of sex toy wipes from Love Honey as my fiancé and I had ran out. The account was first made when I was a uni student living as a lodger with a 78-year-old lady and was single and ready to mingle. They were supposed to be delivered on 23rd December, however post arrives today and still no sight. Check the tracking and realize they have been delivered to the house I used to lodge in. Me and the landlady have a friendly relationship, but this was a new intimacy I didn't want. I sent her a quick text saying that a parcel arrived for me and would she mind forwarding it on, I would cover postage etc. She replied almost instantly to say she opened the parcel as there was no name, old people, and that the fancy wipes looked like a nice sample selection for her 2-year-old grandson, so she had given them to her son and his children for Christmas. I am mortified. The wipes themselves only say toy and body wipes on, but it is written underneath a huge Love Honey logo. I used to babysit for her son and daughter-in-law and am truly horrified by the fact they will 99% think their elderly mother has bought them some sex wipes for their young children. My ex-landlady is transferring me the money and I have told her that she ought to let her son know they were meant for me, as I doubt he will be able to recover if he thought that of his mum. Meanwhile, I am deleting her address from any and all accounts as quickly as I can. Edit, I panicked and said the wipes are not something you would give to your grandchild and are an adult gift, so she is fully aware of their intention now. TL, Doctor, I sent sex toy wipes to my elderly ex-landlady by accident and she opened them and gave them to her 2-year-old grandson for Christmas. This is a pretty good today I fucked up. In all honesty, you caused a cascade of today I fucked up in your wake. Oh, I would be surprised if anyone became mad at you for this. Why, thank you. I did indeed. I could not believe it when she said she'd given them to her son. Person facepalming. I think it will go down as a funny story, but it is definitely embarrassing at first. Years from now, long after Grandma is gone, they will tell the story of the time when Granny gave the toddlers adult wipes for Christmas and everyone will laugh and laugh. You are now part of this family's infamous Christmas story for the rest of your life! Exclamation mark. If it was my family involved, I would be thanking you for the laughs and memories! Exclamation mark. That's pretty funny and mortifying. Happy cat face. In England, we just use the curtains. There is a good chance they will not make the connection of what they were used for. I'm pretty sure her son will. They are young and internet savvy. Regardless, it's happened now and whether they do or not is fine. Today I fucked up by letting my bro open the door. This isn't a serious FU, so if you're not up to morbid humor please don't read. To start, we lost our mom a few months ago and still trying to move on from that. That's why, the topic of her never really comes up as we don't really talk about our feelings among family. I've always thought if somebody mentioned her in any way, we would all break down. Anyway, I was chilling at the living room with my younger siblings when suddenly someone knocked at the front door. Because I'm the eldest but looking like a manic mess, I asked my bro to get the door. There was a guy and after asking some things to my bro, he left and my bro closed the door. I asked my bro what did the guy said. He probably meant to ask something like, is there any adults home? But what came out from him was, do you have your mother? Of course my bro said no because that literally was it. No, we don't have our mother at home nor we have her at all anymore. We burst out laughing because of that and the topic has been brought for a few times since but still brought us laughter. I know that's morbid but it's relieving to see that not every mention about my mom would end up in tears. TLDR, lost mom, still trying to move on. One day someone asked, do you have your mum? And we cracked up because we don't have our mom at home nor we don't have our mom at all anymore. Glad you guys have each other for comfort. Lost my mother at 8, and just had my young nephews lose their mother, my sister, last year. It's a horrible thing that is far too common. Sending love. I'm sorry for your loss, be there for your brother mate. 10 years old is a bad time to lose mum, well any time is, but you know. I hope you learn to cope and you have people around you for support. Good luck op, and I sincerely mean that. The brain tries to cope in weird ways. Sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. Unfortunately, as the oldest, you gotta step up and be mom at times, even when it's hard. Doesn't mean you can't break down and have emotions too, but it's something you gotta do, to help keep the young'uns in check. I mean, I don't think this is a strange response at all. My grandmother, technically my great-grandmother, when she was alive she was in a wheelchair and only had one leg. I was the closest one to her in my entire family. She was the person that I was the closest with in my entire. After she passed, I made a lot of jokes about my dead one-legged grandma. People in my life would find it very strange and looked shocked whenever I made jokes about it because they knew how close I was to her, but that was literally my way of distancing myself from the harsh reality of what actually happened. So finding humor in death is just another way of coping. I find death humor just as valid as somebody crying over a dead loved one. Also, to anyone that thinks my grandmother would have been offended by me making jokes about her having one leg after she was dead, my grandmother in her life was a bartending, cab driving, troublemaking badass who didn't let anything get to her. One time whenever I was 11 years old and she was in the hospital and I said to her, "Grandma, don't die," she literally told me, "I ain't going to die, God don't want me in, the devil ain't ready for me yet." And in the hospital after she passed, I looked at my mother and I said, "Well, I guess the devil was ready for her." My mom about slapped me XD. I said to her, "Well, those were her words. My mother was not blood related to this woman, it was my dad's grandmother." Today I fucked up by laughing too hard during a D&D session and simultaneously, almost, ruining my relationship. Obligatory not today but several months ago before the pandemic. My boyfriend and I went over to a friend's house for our weekend Dungeons and Dragons session. There were about 7 other people there, all guys a bit older than myself. One guy brought veggie chips and Sour Patch Kids. Being the dumbass I am, I didn't eat all day and ate a copious amount of the snacks. My boyfriend proceeds to tell a stupid joke and I start laughing. And I mean really laughing. I laugh so hard that I choke on my own spit. I start to cough, panic now setting in. I grab my throat, my face is turning red now. My boyfriend turns towards me. That's when it happens, I start to vomit. My boyfriend hastily cups his hands to catch the vomit to prevent it from hitting the ground, a mistake indeed. His hands soon overflow with vomit and he quickly runs out of the room to dispose of it in the sink. I continue to vomit everywhere. My small 5'2" self produced a notion of vomit, much to my party's horror. They just sat and watched as I ruined their carpet. Too long didn't read. I laughed so hard at my boyfriend's dumb joke that I vomited. He tried to catch it in his hands, which was a mistake. We are somehow still together several months later. Failed that saving throw. This is true love. He's a keeper. Yes, he is. Anyone that is willing to catch your vomit is a saint. Okay, but I have to laugh that you started to throw up and your boyfriend's reaction was, "Oh, no, I better catch it." Thought it was so sweet. I asked him why and he said that he thought it would only be a small amount and he didn't want me to get it onto the carpet. I thought it was an automatic reflex, but nope. I have a distinct memory of one of our all-night Start Frontiers games back in high school, late 80s. I think this was over winter break. It was about 3 AM and everyone was wired to gills on caffeine, sugar and lack of sleep. We used to mainline Dr. Pepper in those days. I don't precisely remember the circumstances, but I remember yelling octo-breasted Wookiee tits at Joe Rummel, which must have struck him as funny because he started laughing so hard he puked. He tried desperately to keep it in and clamped his mouth shut. I will be able to call up the image of the unnatural, dare we say Trump-like, orange fluid that was partially digested nacho cheese sauce and corn chips spewing in 2 little streams, one out of each of his nostrils, until the day I die. All I'm saying is, you are in good company and carry on the traditions of the tribe well. Oh, was CHA and Con your dumps dats?